Swissair Flight 111 was a scheduled international passenger flight from John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City, United States, to Cointrin International Airport in Geneva, Switzerland. This flight was also a codeshare flight with Delta Air Lines. On 2 September 1998, the McDonnell Douglas MD-11 performing this flight, registration HBIWF, crashed into the Atlantic Ocean southwest of Halifax Stanfield International Airport at the entrance to St. Margaret's Bay, Nova Scotia. The crash site was 8 kilometers 5 miles, 4 nmi, from shore, roughly equidistant from the tiny fishing and tourist communities of Peggy's Cove and Bayswater. All 229 passengers and crew on board the MD-11 were killed, making the crash the deadliest McDonnell Douglas MD-11 accident in aviation history. The flight took off from New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport at 2018 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 018 Coordinated Universal Time, on 2 September. From 2033 to 2047 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 033 to 047 Coordinated Universal Time, the aircraft experienced a radio blackout for approximately 13 minutes, which was later found to be caused by communication radio tuning errors. At 22:10 at 1:10 Coordinated Universal Time, 52 minutes after takeoff, the flight crew detected an odor in the cockpit and determined it to be smoke from the air conditioning system. 4 minutes later, the odor returned and smoke became visible, prompting the pilots to make a pan radio call to Moncton Air Traffic Control, the Area Control Center (ACC) station in charge of air traffic over the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. The pan call indicated that there was an urgency due to smoke in the cockpit but did not declare an emergency as denoted by a Mayday call. The crew requested a diversion to Logan International Airport in Boston, 234 nautical miles, 433 kilometers, 269 miles away, before accepting Moncton ADC's offer of radar vectors to the closer Halifax International Airport in Enfield, Nova Scotia, 66 nautical miles, 122 kilometers, 76 miles away. At 22:18 at 1:18 Coordinated Universal Time, Moncton Centre handed over traffic control of the plane to Halifax Terminal Air Traffic Control, the ATC station in charge of controlling traffic in and out of Halifax International Airport. Upon being advised by Halifax ATC that they were 30 nautical miles 56 kilometers from the airport, the crew requested more flight distance to allow the aircraft to descend safely from its altitude of 21,000 feet 6,400 meters at the time. The crew then requested to dump fuel to reduce their weight for landing. Halifax thus vectored the plane south towards St. Margaret's Bay where it was safe for the aircraft to dump fuel while remaining within 40 nautical miles of the airport. In accordance with the Swissair checklist, in case of smoke of unknown origin, the crew shut off power to the cabin, which also turned off the recirculating fans in the cabin's ceiling. This allowed the fire to spread to the cockpit, eventually shutting off power to the aircraft's autopilot. At 22 hours 24 minutes and 28 seconds at 1 hour 24 minutes and 28 seconds Coordinated Universal Time, the crew informed Halifax that, "We now must fly manually," followed by declaring an emergency. 10 seconds later, the crew declared an emergency again, saying, "And we are declaring emergency now, Swissair 111, this was the last transmission received from Flight 111. The aircraft flight data recorder stopped operating at 22 hours 25 minutes and 40 seconds at 1 hour 25 minutes and 40 seconds Coordinated Universal Time, followed 1 second later by the cockpit voice recorder. The aircraft's transponder briefly resumed transmission of secondary radar returns from 22 hours 25 minutes and 50 seconds to 22 hours 26 minutes and 4 seconds at 1 hour 25 minutes and 50 seconds to 1 hour 26 minutes and 4 seconds Coordinated Universal Time, at which time the aircraft's altitude was 9,700 feet. After this, the aircraft could only be tracked through primary radar, which does not provide altitude information. At 22 hours 31 minutes and 18 seconds at 1 hour 31 minutes and 18 seconds Coordinated Universal Time, the aircraft struck the ocean at an estimated speed of 345 miles per hour, 555 kilometers per hour, 154 meters per second, 300 kn. The collision with the water decelerated the aircraft with approximately 350 grams, causing it to disintegrate instantly.